Hello everyone, welcome to the ICL Immigration Coffee with Clint video session. Today we are talking about a topic that every single immigrant needs to be fully and very aware of before they take on the task of immigration, and this is avoiding immigration scams. This subject is by no means new, but it has become a hot point of discussion in immigration circles as the ever-increasing and elaborate scams enter the market, all in the hopes of separating you from your hard-earned savings. The list of scams we discussed today are worrying in that there are so many types of them. But what is more worrying is the volume of scams we encounter on an everyday basis, which has affected our clients or could potentially affect our clients. Checking with us before doing anything is a service we offer freely, regardless if you do this yourself or use another immigration company. Our responsibility is to protect you at all times from being scammed. The types of scams to know about and be very aware of are phishing and email scams, phone call or SMS scams, fake immigration website scams, job offer scams, and consultant or lawyer scams. Scammers send out emails claiming to be from a certain immigration office, usually from one of the PNP program offices or from an immigration company, and usually ask for some kind of fee to continue with an assessment or application. These emails are usually sent to random recipients, meaning members of the public who have never had a need for immigration services can receive these messages as well. Scammers are hoping to catch one or two candidates from whom the email might seem realistic. Such emails used to be easy to spot because of the poor grammar or tone or lack of authenticity, and in many cases still remains true, but scammers are catching on to this and making the messages more professional sounding and looking, so beware. The government released the following advice on how to spot fraudulent emails. No certificate of nomination will ever be emailed to you directly by the PNP program. It's usually only available within their portal where you can download it with your credentials, or your appointed representative will send it to you directly. Check the contact information on these fake certificates. They in most instances are not correct. Specific provinces and areas have specific telephone codes and will never list a mobile phone number as their contact number or a Gmail or Yahoo email as an external email address. Fake offers referred to the CRC visa office. The federal government changed the name of the department that deals with Canadian immigration and is now called Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, and no longer CIC. You will never be asked to make a payment to the PNP program through a wire transfer, and you will never be asked to pay a right of permanent residence fee, as that only applies to PR applications which you pay to IRCC directly online. Applicants to the PNP programs pay a one-time upfront administration fee to the program through their respective online systems and do not pay for a nomination certificate when and if it is granted. Much like the email scam, phone fraudsters will call and claim to be from a certain Canadian immigration office. Recent examples have seen scammers attempt to imitate officials from the federal IRCC office. They will dress up the conversation in all kinds of official sounding language before eventually getting around to some kind of request for payment. The IRCC has issued the following advice. They will never telephone you to collect money or payments. They may sometimes contact clients by telephone to get more information, to continue processing an application, or to ask for more documents. They will never ask you for any sort of payment by telephone or email. It will always be within your IRCC portal. They will not ask you to confirm basic personal information that you already gave us on an application form, for example, your date of birth, passports, and other information. People can use telephone scams to steal your money or identity. We take strict measures to keep your information confidential. You should be very careful of scams asking for details like your credit card, bank account, or passport numbers, and any type of other personal information. It really does not take much effort for the modern fraudster to clone a website or create one that looks a lot like the official IRCC portal or a legitimate, reputable immigration company. They will often also put out fake internet ads and social media ads designed to drive traffic to their sites, using the allure of reputation and promising faster processing for immigration applications, or guaranteeing visa approvals for Canada, or promising faster passage. The simple rule here is do not trust anything that sounds too good to be true. Processing times have nothing to do with anyone except the case officers at IRCC, and no one is guaranteed a successful application. No one. The IRCC has the following advice. If the website claims to offer special deals to people who want to immigrate, do not deal with them. Do not pay for offers of guaranteed entry into Canada or faster processing of your application. These claims are false. Check the address in your browser's address bar when you land on a website. It should match the address you typed. Sometimes they change. Here are some other ways to protect yourself. Never enter private information unless there is a padlock in the browser window or an HTTPS at the beginning of the web address to show you that it's a secure site. If a website seems wrong to you, do a web search to see if anyone has reported any problems with that site. Make sure your browser is up to date. Browser filters can help detect fake websites. Be aware of websites advertised in emails from strangers that you do not ask for. Do not give out personal information unless you are sure you know whom you are dealing with. If in doubt, contact the website owner by telephone or email before you do anything. A real job offer will never come without an interview process. In certain instances, scammers will guarantee a job offer and ask for a fee for the service. This is illegal in all Canadian jurisdictions. Fraudsters know a job offer can be a key element to a successful Canadian immigration application. Often, a paid-for job offer will never materialize, or if the authorities find out about it, the candidate's case could be rejected and the employer prosecuted, with the applicant facing deportation. The first rule of thumb, is it too good to be true? Pay attention to is the pay high, much higher than typical for the job. The tip here is use payscale.com to check for market-related salaries. The other thing to look out for, you get the job right away. After a quick phone or online interview, the interviewer immediately contacts you to offer you the job. The tip here, scammers troll job boards looking for victims. To reduce the chance you'll get scammed, use job sites that have privacy policies and only allow verified employers to view their listings. The next thing to look out for are the vague job requirements and job descriptions. Scammers try to make their email sound believable by listing job requirements. Usually these requirements are so ridiculously simple that almost anyone qualifies. You must be 18 years old. You must be a citizen. You must have access to the internet. You wouldn't be reading their email if you didn't have access to the internet, right? The tip here is, the job requirements don't mention years of experience or education. As a rule of thumb, if it's a real job, the requirements will be quite specific. Job scam emails usually don't include clear job descriptions. Many job seekers say that when they ask for a job description or list of job duties, they get the brush off. The interviewer either ignores the questions or says something like, "Don't worry, we'll train you." The next thing to look out for are unprofessional emails. Some emails from scammers are well written, but many aren't. Real companies hire professionals who can write well. If the email contains spelling, capitalization, punctuation, or grammatical mistakes, be on your guard. Many attempted scams say the interview will take place online using an instant messaging service. The scammers often include instructions for setting up and contacting the hiring manager and may ask for confidential information. If you're applying for an online job and you're told the interview will take place online via instant message, research the company and its representatives before you agree to an interview. And if you agree to be interviewed, ask detailed questions about the job during the interview. The tip here is, don't give out confidential information such as your bank account, credit card, or social security information. If the email doesn't include the company's address, phone number, website address, or email signature, it's a good bet it's a scam. Also watch out for the interviewer who makes excuses for using a personal email address by saying the company's servers are down. A real company will never do that. They would reschedule if there were technical challenges. Some scam emails will look like they come from real companies. Look out for things like the following. The scammer's email address and website domain address don't match. The tip here is Google email addresses to ensure their validity. Be sure to copy and paste each address into the search box as is. You can also type the word scam after the email address to see if anyone else has reported them. Before agreeing to an interview, do your research. If it's a real company, you should be able to find information about the company by doing an online search very easily. Finding information does not guarantee the company is legit, but if you can't find anything, be wary. If their email is very unprofessional and there is no professional email signature at the end, it's almost guaranteed to be a scam. Some scammers pretend to represent real companies. You must always look up a company's website address and contact info to verify it against the job offer you have received. If anything is amiss, it's guaranteed to be a scam. Always contact the real company and ask if this employee exists. That is how I found on numerous occasions when fact-checking that while the name on the offer was a real person, this person did not work for the said company, and as such the job offer was fake. Sophisticated scammers sometimes set up nice-looking websites, but these can be deceiving, along with those job offers that come from them. The tip here is go to the who.is website and type in the company web address into the domain names or IP address search box and press enter. See what comes up. If the website was registered less than a year ago, be wary. Some scammers ask for your bank account information to set up a direct deposit or transfer money to your account, or ask you to open a new bank account and provide the information to them. Other scammers will tell you to go to a website and fill out a credit report form or provide confidential information so that they can put money into your account from the company insurance. And this is how identity theft scams get you to provide your social information, your birth dates, your credit card number, your identity numbers, and any other personal information that they could steal from you. The tip here is, before entering any personal information online, check to make sure that the website is secure by looking out at the website address bar and seeing that the lock is there or that the website has got an HTTPS in front of it. If it's not, don't put any information into it. The next tip is about being wary if they ask you to pay for something, such as you need to buy this software to work, or you have to pay for a credit report, or you have to pay to have your resume reviewed, or there's a fee to get this job. Those are very important things to look at. They are red flags. The next tip to pay strong attention to is your gut. If your gut says it's a scam, be on guard. Researching the company is your best defense, but sometimes scammers are very, very clever. If you start to feel that things aren't right, trust your intuition. Ask questions and pay close attention to the answers. Slow the process down and don't be pressured into making a commitment or giving out personal information. Do more research. If it turns out to be a scam, report it to the authorities. Canadian immigration fraud is on the rise, taking advantage of foreigners hoping to start a new life abroad. Despite our need as a global community to pull together during these uncertain times and the financial strain that COVID has put on all of us, these fraudsters have remained relentless, even opportunistic, in their efforts to scam innocent people. They have found various ways to target unsuspecting people and cheat them out of their hard-earned money, often under the guise of a reputable immigration company. Canadian immigration scam artists have become increasingly creative and brazen in their ploys to deceive foreigners, so much so that they have gone as far as copying legitimate websites and social media platforms. We break down the top 7 things that a reputable immigration agency will never do so that you can know what to be aware of from the start. These tips on how to spot if an immigration agency is fake or real help you avoid being duped by copycat websites and scammers. The first tip is to look out at strange email addresses. A reputable immigration agency will never use a strange email address such as iclimmigration@gmail.com or at yahoo.com. We highly recommend that you check the email address before you open it, as it could leave you vulnerable to malware or hackers, which could put your personal and private information at risk. If you receive a legitimate email from us, the address will always be linked to our main domain, iclimmigration.com. Be very careful if it's not, because this could mean that you are dealing with a fake immigration agency and not the real one. The same applies to other legitimate companies being cloned online, and there are a few of them. The next thing to pay attention to are WhatsApp payment requests. A reputable immigration agency will never ask to process your application via a chat app. Our WhatsApp channel is used only to communicate with our clients via our client portal. We do not respond to WhatsApp messages coming in, as it is not a secure means of communicating sensitive information. Any other information about your Canadian visa application will be done via email, telephonically, or via our client portal with your appointed RCIC or admin team members. ICLimmigration.com will also never send you a payment link, nor will we ask you for payment via WhatsApp. Your payment link will always be linked to our official payment gateways of LawPay or Square. The logo for ICL Immigration will always be present, and your retainer agreement will always be attached. Any payment that you make can be done safely through our online secure LawPay payment page. How to spot fake consultants or lawyers. A reputable immigration agency or consultant will never offer paid services without being a registered RCIC or regulated Canadian immigration consultant or a certified immigration lawyer. An RCIC or immigration lawyer is legally authorized by the Canadian government to offer immigration advice as well as submit your Canadian visa applications for you. Now, this is where you need to be careful. Saying that you have an RCIC doesn't automatically mean it's true. Another tactic that these fraud immigration companies will do is use the reputation of a reputable immigration agency and use its RCIC's names and details in the hopes of sounding legitimate. Always look up your consultant using the ICCRC website Find an Immigration Professional page, which is where you will find the lists of members in good standing and which people are linked to those businesses. Let me show you quickly how to use the search tool on ICCRC.
So on the screen we have the ICCRC website, and as you can see at the top, their website address is a secure site. It's got the lock present, and if you bring up the web address, you can see that it's an HTTPS website, meaning it is secure. If it didn't have the HTTPS and only HTTP, you would be wary of interacting with such a website when providing personal information. Now, we're here to discuss how to look up a consultant or a business on this ICCRC website to verify them. This is the first step in authenticating the company or person that you want to work with. There's two ways to do that on the site currently. The first way is really just to click on verify your immigration consultant, and that will take you to the register, or further below you can click on the public register and click on the learn more button, which will open up the register for you. So if we open up the register page, what you'll see come up onto the screen shortly is a bit of information that you need to provide in terms of identifying the person or company that you want to work with. And further below, you can either go through the list by clicking on all the letters. It takes a bit of time to do that, or you can kind of simply just use this information and fill in what you know. So we'll use me as an example. Emsley is my last name. My first name is Clinton, and we put my RCIC number, R523553, and that's the other thing to look out for and ask for. Now, when you're dealing with a person, ask them what their R number is so that you can go and look them up and see what their status is. Click on search. Okay, so there it found me now. Okay, and as you can see, I have an active status. My number is as I said it was. If you click on contact, it shows me the businesses that I'm linked to. Okay, so you can see we're located in Clifford. That's present on our website. We're in Ontario, Canada. That's present on our website. In ICLimmigration.com is our website address. If you click on the contact, it shows you how to contact us. Okay, all of that information is present on our website. You verify information like that. Okay, this public register is there to assist you. Make use of it fully.
The next thing to look out for is poor website content. A reputable immigration agency will never offer poorly curated content, false or irrelevant information. The things to look out for: the domain name and the business name are different. Look at the company's name versus its location. Does it make sense? Look if the domain name is on a secure domain and that the lock is present, or the HTTPS is present at the start of the website address. Look at spelling and grammar used on the website. Click on any social media links and see where they take you. If it's to some weird accounts with no apparent link to the listed business, this raises suspicion. Check their privacy policy for language use and all pertinence to the immigration process and protection of information. These are important things that need to be present in Canadian privacy policies. Check their news page or their blog pages, and do they have any relevant and current content that is applicable? Pay attention. The next thing to be aware of are copycat websites. Some fraud Canadian immigration agencies will go as far as copying an entire look and feel of a reputable company. They use established and professional reputations to gain the trust of unsuspecting victims. These scam artists intend to trick hopeful visa applicants into thinking that they are dealing either with a legitimate company when they are actually dealing with a fraud company. Look out for the obvious telltale signs. The differences may be slight, but they'll be there. The next thing to pay attention to is when the numbers don't add up. A reputable immigration agency will never have a contact number that is registered in a location or country that is different from the location of its offices. Scam artists go as far as changing the location of their head offices from one city to another. They sometimes list contact information that is not pertinent to those locations, like an address or a phone number. Always look up an address on Google Maps and look at the street view and see what shows up. Check to see that local businesses use a similar phone number prefixes around them. Check out if fees are charged in currencies that are not Canadian dollars. This should be the first red flag to be wary of. Scams ask for payments for assessments in euros, American dollars, and other currencies, and not in Canadian dollars. While it's not a law that businesses cannot charge in other currencies, 99% of Canadian companies always charge in local currencies. Be very aware of that. If you have been affected by a potential scam or have lost money to a scam, it's in your best interest to report this to the pertinent authorities as soon as possible. This helps bring it to the attention of the correct agencies to deal with, and it helps shield other victims from being scammed the same way you were or could have been. The first place to report the matter to is the ICCRC, which has a dedicated fraud team to receive complaints and deal with investigations. Their website, which is listed here, and if you click on Complaints and Discipline, then just below File a Complaint, click on Learn More, and then Submit a Complaint against an RCIC. Okay, this will allow you to submit a form online, tell them a bit about what's happened, and report it. Their fraud email address is also up here in case you want to email them directly, and they publish media on their website which can bring attention to known scams that are currently doing the rounds, and you can share that media on various social media platforms. The next place to report a scam to is the Canada Anti-Fraud Centre, known as CAFC. The CAFC work closely with law enforcement who have the authority to bring charges to those who they investigate and find guilty of fraud. They work closely with international governments to assist the elaborate international scam syndicates that plague Canada, not only through immigration, but through other means as well. Visit their website to file a complaint, also listed up here. Be wary of everything when it comes to immigration scams. The elaborate nature of scams in the modern age is really hard to navigate, and if ever you are unsure, always ask. ICL Immigration are committed to reducing fraud and scams that affect our clients, and as such we offer a free service to assist clients with fact-checking before they venture down the path of being a victim of a scam. As always, email us on info@iclimmigration.com with any query that you have, and we will provide you our feedback within 2 business days. And that's a wrap for today's video session where we discussed avoiding scams in Canada. If you need more information, feel free to drop us an email to info@iclimmigration.com or visit our website, iclimmigration.com. As always, if you're thinking about immigrating to Canada, it all starts with eligibility. To determine yours, visit our website and click on the button labeled Do You Qualify? Feedback is provided within 2 business days, along with any viable options that present based on your profile. Thanks for joining me today. Stay safe, everyone. Cheers.